like I said, we guys want to say the timeout page at some point, but for the time being, this is the individual Duncan Sage and Leo Vert, and obviously
aka Time.
and Sage, right? Time and
Yeah,
Sage.
yeah, Time and Sage.
Right.
So you know what to follow when we get that page sorted.
No, of course, definitely, and obviously, you and I we were talking on the phone about how to live life here, especially in the time of needs. Well, mostly for world countries, so to say.
Or just the current state of, the pressures under, the system that we're currently living in. So time is of essence when we're under pressure, when we have to either overwork in it or otherwise, try and work around it. So it's kind of, a tangent, you know what I'm saying? But obviously each to find their own kind of peace, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully most people do find their peace. I would hope that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
of
I know
course, definitely.
well, that's, I mean, how do you find peace? Like, what's your way of finding peace? Give me an example of how does the sage find his sense of peace throughout his days in this city hustle or this city madness, this city kind of this gritty city?
It's funny how I find peace. It's actually, I won't say it's a fake question, but it's interesting because when I look at my definition of peace, is more like one is find their own belonging and
Mm.
like find their contentment. I think you and I we spoke, we talked about it, scene, and I think there's a difference between perseverance and optimism, but it's also contentment or being gratitude for what you have.
Yes, always be content. You have to have a sense of contentment for real because things like that allow you to kind of express the gratitude. It's all good. So it's good feelings. It's all that positive output and feedback is what I'm saying. So yeah, contentment is definitely important and find contentment in, simple hobbies of such. You know what I'm saying? Like, kick a ball around if you can in the massive meadow area. You don't have to kick it in the football pitch. You could just run around the football like a dog would run around chasing his tennis ball. That's what I'm saying. So,
No, no, of course, definitely. But it's got me thinking. Like, I want to ask you your opinion. Do you think we live in a world where it's just like there's too much toxic positivity where everyone is diluted, like, be happy, great, be grateful. But then it's like we're not in the elephant in the room of, to want to be happy, one must understand depression to a extent.
mm, mm. Okay, okay, let me try and let me try and add on to that. So that's quite a fair point because that kind of sense of happiness and false delusional happiness, what you're kind of referring to now, thinking about it, like yeah, that can happen very easy based on when like someone gets their desires like at the moment
Hmm.
and they're like,
Hmm.
I'm the happiest, I'm on top of the world. And like, they just have this weird like and they try and like flex it like it's that, and then you see them a few months later, they don't look like they're happy again. You're like, wait, hold up, this ain't continuous. This is that's conflicting. What are you doing? You can't. No, no, you got to be in the downsides of like. So, an example, I skateboard a lot, so I go through a lot of ups and downs with my skateboard. So there's times where I'm like, nah, man, I feel bad, and I'm all blaming the skateboard wheels and the trucks and down. Well, I know it's new and fixed. And I'm like, nah, man, the sound on my skateboard and it's making me sad now, and not like depression, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not at my happiest peak, and then through that perseverance, back to what you were saying earlier. I go through it, I succeed, and then I find that joy, and that joy is actually longevity. It's a long lasting joy. Because I went through the lowness of it, like, oh, this is hard, this is tiring, and man, I can't do this. And you're right, you have to go through the battles of it, and then after that, then the happiness is genuine. It's not pretend either. It's not pretentious. It's like genuine happiness. If that answers some of your question.
No, you know what it is? It actually got me thinking, because just last night I went to the gym and they always say, like, it's not the race that's the hardest part, it's putting yourself in the gym. That's the hardest part. Go from A to B. And it's
Mm,
just like, when I was younger, my intention with going to the gym was like, yeah, I want to go lift weights to impress women. But now my change is like, no, I'm just going there to maintain my body and maintain health. You know what I mean?
mm, mm.
So it's like
Yeah.
that mindset is now changing. And I think where society is like, we look at a world where it's like toxic positivity, toxic like bodies. It's like, oh, love your color, love your body. But it's like, let's be real, not sure. If someone's, slightly a bit overweight, we shouldn't say like, we love your body stuff. Like they want to change. You're just enabling them to a down path.
Or maybe not giving them the confidence and what's that, like the truth
The
for them to
truth.
build off that
Oh,
confidence.
good.
Like, to like, thank you for telling me that. okay, that's honest. I'm gonna, you know what? Yes, I take that on board, and maybe they would want to hear that. Who knows? If you don't give it to them, you don't know. You just wouldn't know. So I'm not a personal trainer, so don't take my advice.
Oh yeah, of course.
Advice as it is, but I mean, like, yeah, I can imagine that that's what some personal trainers are good for. To be realistic, to get them to realistic goals, and I think they do have those kind of, those programs or such out there. Yeah, man, like definitely, because yeah, and one should look for those honest people to make it more realistic for the process that actually, yeah, you can't just let people lie to you and gaslight you and say, don't worry, yeah, be happy with who you are always. That's not the problem. It's if you want to reach a certain goal, yes, you're gonna have to go through the pressure and the perseverance. And you have to go through that, that hard part. Like it definitely is that. And so yeah, to get on top and really generally be happy for yourself. And then you'll be happy in yourself, whatever you look like. I'm a skinny dude, like, I get played upon like that. It's like, oh, you're thin, you don't eat a lot, and I get like, I get all that. It's like, wait, hold up, like, that's some negative comments, but I laugh about it. I'm thinking, hold up, like, I'm not trying to spread that about you. Like, I'm not thinking about your body archetype. That's kind of strange, but I guess whatever in it, like each their own kind of like maybe that's their insecurities reflecting on them, so they're telling me what I am. But I'm kind of happy with who I am, so that's what I mean. I chill out my body size and I adapt with what it is, and I can only do what I'm given. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not force it out of its yeah, like out of its function.
But
Yeah.
no, because it's interesting because I say interesting as well because you skateboard, but you also ride bikes. So you doing this physical activity has made you gratitude in your way because I remember it was in
Mm.
2024 I started getting to indoor rock climbing.
Mm.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I started getting to indoor rock climbing, because I remember a couple of years ago, I kind of, not in the direct way, but in a way, kind of started the body dysmorphia, where it's like, I want to be like, AKD, I want to put on weight. But then the more I got into indoor rock climbing, I looked at myself in the mirror, thinking, bro, I feel more confident in myself.
Good.
I feel more content. I feel more happier. I was like, I was
Mm.
more toned, I was more defined. I remember someone started saying something, hey, I feel like sexy. I was thinking, wow, I'm not using that word for myself. But then, but no, but here's the
No,
thing.
I feel you got.
No, but it's funny though because when you look back at it. But what we are saying, doing like that activity changed my perspective. Like, where I say, like, my body's not meant to get big. My body was never
Okay.
meant to get big. It was just meant to be skinny the way it is and defined.
And do you appreciate the genome that comes from your ancestors? 'Cause that's obviously something that's ancestral. Like, they can say, "Oh, Duncan, you're like your great granddad's kind of archetype." No one's there. You're
Yeah.
like, and and know that he was strong, he was fast, and they say like what he was physically capable of doing. You're like, oh, okay, cool. So I guess my body's got some sort of power. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah. So it's funny you said that. Kind of made it triggered that because that's what I get told about my uncle, like RIP, like and like he told me that a lot. He's like, you remind me of my dad, like our dad, like or your granddad. You have that same kind of, and he was a bad man at karate, and he was strong and tough. Like, yeah, yeah. Shout out, what's up, lady A? But
Of
yeah,
course,
man,
man.
yeah,
No, of
yeah.
course,
Oh
definitely.
yeah. So it's funny you're saying that because yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
I think if I look at like our generation, millennials and the Gen Zs, like, because as slowly baby boomers and Gen X and slowly leaving, it's like we're going to a point where it's like we're trying to focus on the self-improvement world of like, be this, be that. But it's like, no, how about you just go to the basic of actually understanding for you to be happy, you gotta go through shit. You gotta go
Mm,
through crap. You
yeah.
gotta see the negative to see the positive.
Definitely, that's a definite. The reverse, the polar reverse. That you know, what I'm saying that the kind of, the mirror effect, basically, just like everything's got a mirror at the end of the day. So yeah, that you can't have one without the other. And if it is, then it's gonna be extreme on one side, and it's not going to be healthy.
But
Definitely not.
because funny enough, before I came as lifestyle, I know the concept of it's weird, but the concept of fear and death hit my head. I was thinking, why am I feeling this kind of way? But I realized something. There's a part of me that's slowly leaving for a new version of me to come out. And I realized saying like it's more like a change and more, like like a birthright go to
Cocoon. Yeah, I was thinking.
yeah
You said it. I
yeah
was thinking it. Yeah, it's funny. Go on, go on.
like like shout out to Casual Wise Albert to be a butterfly. Like I'm looking at it thinking, okay, I'm going through these changes and yes, it's scary, yes, it's fearful. But once I get out of it, I'll be happy and look alive. Because I think once you change, when something new comes to you, you're saying, like let's be real, you're crapping your pants. you're literally cramping
Yeah.
your pants. You're again, damn, this is like new to me. This is like I have no idea what I'm going with. But the more you
Yeah.
accept it, you realize that okay, it's not so bad. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
whilst like, I mean, right now I'm starting where we made this course, and I'm seeing like accidents happen, anything. And
Raw.
I'm thinking in my head like there was a part of me, yeah, last night I was thinking, do I really, do I really want to quit? But I was supposed to be like, Duncan, you got this far. You started, let's see it to your end. You know what I mean?
I think but you don't have to do it. You can see it to the end, but you get me. That says a lot about your character for the next endeavor that you do. You may be able to, use this as a base of your, sense of that. Wow, that let me test my character and perseverance through doing
Mhm.
this course that's challenging. And after that, I'll use this skill in something else that I might want to persevere.
No,
So,
of
you know what I'm
course.
saying?
But you
So
know what it is? It
that's
built
good that you
character.
do that.
But it
That's
also
exactly it. You're
it
exactly
built
your
character.
character building. Exactly, exactly. That's what I see. So that's good that you do that and don't even feel no way. It doesn't matter if you don't use it. You use what you learn from it in other things. You're like, yeah, I've learned that, and I'm doing that, and then yeah, man, and be happy and celebrate yourself for finishing it. That's
No,
what
of
you do.
course, definitely. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't like
that's
saying
what
that
you
at the
do.
moment.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And the
mean,
fact that you like it is good, even better.
oh no, 100%. I mean,
No
literally
pressure.
just
There's no pressure. Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
fine. No, I love it though because I'm looking at my life now, yeah, and the ways I'm going. It's like, wow, like works in so many ways. I mean, man was unemployed for like months and months, staying on the couch thinking, damn, what I'm gonna do with my life. And then I don't know, a call just hit to me. I was thinking, you know what, let me take this opportunity, let it take a chance. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, and maybe that's like, okay, like, life's too short, like we only got one life. So let me live life to my fullest.
Yeah, yeah. One life with many opportunities. So you got to create many opportunities out here with that one life. And that's how you actually indulge and actually, and don't put pressure on yourself. Just never put pressure. Just measure yourself based on
Yeah.
your limits and your abilities. Don't try, trying to compare yourself to some athlete or some unrealistic like superstar or model. You're like, that's just not what it is, isn't it? Like, shine in your own way, you know what I'm saying? And I guess you'll be appreciated by the people who see your genuine light. They won't even fight it. They'll be magnetized like a moth to a flame. And that's what it is out here. So, and going back to the topic at hand, obviously, like, we were trying to, limit ourselves into, I mean, not limit ourselves into indulging in actually enjoying ourselves to do things that are quite, active to keep ourselves actually mentally functional in these times in society. You know what I'm saying? Because the society we live in is very demanding and it does put a lot on your like a strain on your character, your beliefs, your dreams. Like you can always say you want to do something, but something always just gets in the way of that in some strange like, oh man, I've got to do this. Oh, so ready. Like even when I got on the live today, I was like, man, I've just changed my baby's nappy. I've got to do this, and I did say we went to it half an hour ago, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like we let the universe decide how we roll, but the fact is, I was in a good mood, I had a good day, and I was like, look, man, hey, man, despite the weather, it was sunny in my world. Again, it was very sunny. It was a beautiful day. Went out, they had a good conversation. You know what I'm saying, with some like elder woman in the park. Her children watching me skateboard, and I was explaining, how to be safe and be safe. And then you can have more fun. And then when you get good, you can take your equipment off and, just having that vibes, just vibes in, like just how days should be. And I was thinking, right, this is a good day. Like I'm doing skate lessons and I'm just having conversations and just, trying to enhance. They're like, we're not a skateboard family. And I said, maybe you are. And I let the little boy on my skateboard, he fell off and he got back up again. They look worried, but then they felt, you know what? We should break that cycle. Like maybe we will come to you one day. You know what I'm saying? Just that's chill,
Yeah.
man. That's
No, of
chill.
course. Because
Yeah.
hear what you're saying, yeah. I think a lot sometimes in life, yeah, we're not ready to play the fool to learn certain things. Like we want to get things right. And I remember like in my head, I was thinking, the best way to learn certain things is to make so many mistakes to a point you'll get better. But the more you try
Yeah,
to aim for
100%.
perfection, you end up making more mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, more
So,
likely because again, perfection comes with comparisons. Yeah, that's
yeah.
why people put pressure on themselves. That's what I mean. They always that's what I said just earlier. They compare themselves to a lot of things in society that limit their kind of true beliefs in themselves because they're always distracting themselves with like like I don't know, images or even it could be like fake images and buffed up and overly over the top and you somehow your brain's believing that because you believe it. You know what I'm saying? That's what
No,
that's the case.
no, but you know what? I just want to say, like money, time is good tool, but a terrible master. Which is yeah, I'll agree with that one. You know what I mean? Time can be a good tool, but also a terrible master. But it depends how you use time as well, because time can be a good ally. And I think to me, Asia, we lost the art of patience. Like patience has
Yeah.
not become something that we have like learnt. To
Hmm.
everyone's like quick. I want the results. I want quick. But it's like no, you gotta like learn the basics. You gotta learn from hardship. You gotta learn certain things.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
people want the result without putting the effort. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Some people are like,
That's fast, bro.
some people are like, I want to get married. I want to have a family. Okay, but to order to do that, one must get to know the person. One must spend time with that person. One
That's
must like
patience, effort. Yeah.
effort.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
So yeah,
expect something.
PEC, the
It's
PEC, the
easy.
patience, the effort, the consistency, son.
Consistency.
Yeah, yeah. I hear
But
you.
I
I
think
hear you.
over time, yeah, it's like, people have lost that ability to actually do that. Like people are willing to like having that
Again, but
conversation with
again, that
someone.
does come down to the pressure of society. That's what I mean. It's not even like they're faulty sometimes. It's just literally an unfathomed pressure that they can't even control because we just don't know how to kind of, I don't. No, we still do because people do have. Again, we all have releases. Definitely, everyone has pieces of mind and zen. Taking walks in parks and just looking at the river, your closest riverside, taking a walk by your closest riverside having a bike ride by it, skateboarding by it, just wherever. Just, everyone finds their peace in different ways, definitely. That's definite. And
Yeah,
I feel that. I just know that in city life, it's harder to kind of, like, we always admit, oh, I can't wait for that holiday. Which we earn. And we're like, but we're thinking, well, why can't every
that's
day
true.
feel kind of chill? Like, damn, man, I'm giving pressure
You
most
know,
days in my year, man. But I don't get
I
that.
hear it.
That's what I can say. I don't get that. I'm lucky not to have that. Like, in that, I have less money, but I have lots of time. I can get but that's what I've done is both them out. So I can't spend too much, but I'm not materialistic. So I don't have time to look at material things when most of my time is trying to improve in something that I'm happy doing. That kind of vibe.
No, of
Yeah.
course. I think one thing I learned, especially like going back to the motherland, spending time in Ghana, like it made me grounded and more grateful in certain ways. Like I'll be honest with you, I was most of the time walking, man didn't have his AirPods on or like, his headphones listen to music. Man was with nature, just walking around, yeah, like the countryside, greeting people, waving, being in tune.
So they were
Like the
timeless. They had no time. They were timeless. Like there's no. It's 4 o'clock. We got to do this. It's free. They were on that kind of vibe. Like they were on just like waving, and it was time to say hello. It was time to smile. It was time to play drums. It was time to dance. It was time to
Mhm.
cook. They just
Yeah,
have that with the sky. They look at the sky. Oh, it's getting to that time. Actually, they're not even going like it's free. They don't. It's nothing to do with that. That's what I mean.
yeah.
That's time free. That's freedom in time, man. That's expression in time. That's what you got to be about, man. Or yeah, but we city folk don't get that luxury. That's just the raw reality of our life.
Oh yeah, I understand.
But you can kind of bend that rule if you're looking to compromise. And like that shout out to like a radio, that's the best type of rich. Exactly that. That's what it is out here. That you know what I'm saying. That it's that type of that rich and that you get me. That so you have to have that kind of feel like what do you value more like and if you have that kind of that sense of that that full process, it will match your frequency, which in turn you can act upon without feeling pressure. You're like, this is what I really want to be. I'm not fronting with that. And then and you get answers. You have good conversations. You give people hugs. You're like, Rob, this is deep. Like, this is just what I'm talking about. Connecting that. I don't even want to be all in a cubicle office and just sitting there thinking about what or stacking box shelves. I already live in a box estate, so everything around me is already square. But I'm trying to create my own circles or my own diamond, whichever one. But I'm definitely gonna make a different shape within that square, and that's a fact. So
You know what? It actually reminds me of one of the parts of my poem where I say my sage is free. Well, my spirit is free. Where I say, in society, in reality is I don't think I'll ever be free. And I think what it is like a lot of people talk time we're searching for freedom, but sometimes freedom comes within ourselves. Like I said,
mm.
like being the art of contentment, just like, you being content is an form of freedom. You being happy of what you have.
Uh,
But then again, it's a double-edged sword because one lives in denial, one lives in
Mm,
truth.
mm,
And the thing is, like, if you live in denial, it's just like you're afraid of doing something that requires you to get to your true form. So it's like that sacrifice. And the thing is, like, when I look at certain things, like, when I tell people who are married, got kids, I'm like, you do not want to be single. It's a jungle. Be grateful for what you have. And look, what do you mean? I'm like, trust me, what you have is good. Be content with it. Like I said, just because you see
mm,
outside people
mm,
having fun and freedom, don't think they're not happy. They're miserable. They probably want what you have.
mm. To some degree, yeah, of course. I mean, if they haven't had similar experiences or had bad experiences, but I know what you mean by that. It's true. Yeah, there should be a set, but that contentment, that's self development in character. So you got to learn with yourself, and you got to kind of find building within your with your experiences, and then learning curves, and then you know what I'm saying. So it comes in
Yeah.
stages of such, and then you find that kind of contentment because you've learned from a lot of things in your struggles. So you know, and hopefully, if you've got a strong character, you finally get there, and then you just, yeah, you cheers yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just don't feel nothing but the joy that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? That's what it has to be, man. The one that you deserve, like, because we all deserve it, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's up. Like, I mean, I've worked in industries for like years, and I was under people for years, regardless of offerings of leadership roles. That wasn't who I was. I was like, I used to like, I went from full time to part time to like just choosing when I wanted to work. I was like, I can't be doing this whole thing because I was like, there's something in my spirit that I was just like, if I've resurrected here twice, I wasn't here to experience a life getting drawn out getting undermined and underappreciated, but still loved, but by the clientele, whatever. That's definitely the balance. I still got loved. It was good like that. So I'm not going to pretend that it wasn't there. But that other than that, it was kind of still like, nah, man. And you know what? If you're getting treated a certain way, somehow this protection over you, somehow it just draws you to leave. And then when you leave with kind of like happiness. You don't leave with like, oh, what am I gonna do? Oh man, you're like, right, I think I just needed to do that. Like, I don't know why I didn't do that like 3 months ago. That was mad, like, and I feel relieved. And you don't think about money. You're thinking about the time that you're gonna have now to heal. You know what I'm saying? To body heal, to find time doing nothing, and then find out you can do a lot of things. Like, you know what I'm saying, that you thought you couldn't do before. So I don't know. It just things like that, man. So yeah, man, that kind of
No,
vibe.
no, of course, definitely. You know, it's actually crazy as well because I think it was like I was walking this morning, just listening a bit like J Cole when he was like albums released in 2016. I was thinking, oh, like I was like what 23 going 24 years old. I'm thinking, what was I going through my head that time? And I was thinking that was like a decade. I'm thinking 24 three version of me is completely different to who I am now. I'm thinking to myself like, what would the conversation I have with my younger self look like? Like,
Oh
what
no,
can I
yeah,
tell him?
yeah, yeah, that's fair. I mean, you don't want to talk to your younger self. You want to try and get to your wiser self, being the elder one, man. Trust me. You don't
Yeah.
even. I don't even talk to my younger self anymore. He was a character that I remember. I thank him for getting me through the defense shields of people's ignorance and arrogance and testing my my stature. Like, you're a small dude, but you're a strong mouth. Like, that's what I was known for. Just like, I ain't having it, and I used one character, my old poetic self, and it was my shield to protect me in this crazy city. It was insane. I was like, I needed to have that character. It was like an ego that kept me protected. So I was thinking people were just rude, but I'm nice enough to hear it empathetically. I don't really want to talk to you like this because when I go home, I don't feel good when I chat to you like that. I feel a bit bad. I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe they're thinking deeper about what I'm saying, and they're going to take that personally some next way. It's going to echo in their head, and I can tell by the way they're reacting. Like, they were kind of raw, but they didn't do anything. But I know they're thinking about things now. But that's neither here or there. That was my old character, and that's why I don't think about it because I've wisened up from that, and I never want to even remember that as to say I thank it as it was there. But who I am today, it may have referenced me and put me at this point, but it's nothing that I would ever think about ever again. But rather be the man that I need to be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's the march you got to go
Mm.
through. That's what I'm saying. Like, the times are changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the times are changing, man. So we got to get ready for this kind of, high energy and output of joy and true happiness and bliss. You feel?
No, of course. I mean, hearing you saying that got me. It's literally got me thinking as well. Like, do you again? This is a question. Do you feel like that time you were low key ahead of your time in certain ways. Like what I mean, like you saw like the foresight future. So
Um,
I'm gonna elaborate a bit more. So when I look about my younger past self, I feel like there are certain things here that I saw ahead, but I was not consciously aware of. And I was thinking, wow, this actually makes sense now looking back.
mhm,
S- So to me, it's like I said, the younger version of me. It's like me during the COVID time period of me. It's like me, the 2020 version of me putting the work. So now the
mhm,
version of me can actually reap the world of the work
mm,
of like studying like bit of youngness work, motivation, looking at people behind, ahead of me, back time, being a student of life.
mm,
But
mm,
also playing humility, going for the shadow work is that what led me to see the light.
mm, mm,
To the point where like new things happen to me. I'm thinking, okay, I dealt with this energy before. This is
mm,
imposter syndrome. I know I was doing this before. I mentally done it. I've been there. I've done it. This is just a new version of me coming out, a new identity.
mm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I can't recognize this version, like, oh, me working in this job version of me. That doesn't exist anymore. I got the skills from that version of me years ago, but I'm not going back to that version of me because it's inspired. It's outdated.
Mm, mm. Yeah, like a software program of such.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, yeah. No, I was listening to that intensively. So yeah, man. But
So
that's
I
what's
think
up. But go on.
no, because I think with like hearing what you're saying, I think in a way, I think you will definitely have your time in so many ways. But yeah, I think like so it's hard to elaborate, but I think listen to your story, your background and everything. I think it's like somehow you knew certain things before it actually happened as well. Like through your poetry. Like, you
Mhm.
writing, you become a writer and author from a young age. Just writing from, I don't know, from a young, like 10 or 11 years old writing. It's like somehow you predict that version of you without knowing it.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Something is written in your code and you're free to do it regardless. It will call you in all stages of your life. Your gifts always call you, whether it's singing, whether it's artistry, graffiti, whatever the form, you know what I'm saying? I tend to find that your gifts always call you, and it's when you ignore them, they kind of eat away. And that's when the regrets come into place. It doesn't matter how much funny, it doesn't matter how much bad relationships I would have or whatever, or people have the thing that really that I kind of go back to is my gift. But this actually brings me joy, and for some reason, it takes me out of that kind of that negative space of going, oh, that girl and my girl's getting on my nerves, and I'm trying to write why is she getting on my nerves, and why am I feeling like this, and then I'm just reflecting. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going because your gift and that gift comes out in writing or freestyles. I might freestyle about it and then put it into perspective and then go from there. But it just depends how I'm trying to, find a sense of peace, but then do it with enjoyment. I don't want to do it with like super frustration and anger and all of that, because obviously I've done that type of energy and yeah, I wouldn't say I was ahead of my time by predicting things. I would say I was just very observant. It was one of those character traits I had as a young age, like just being highly observant of things and not allowing to falter truth and be questioning of everything. I mean, I've written things that I was wrong about. I would never lie. I'll just retract it or just delete it. I'll be like, yeah, that was that time. It's not that time anymore. Delete, delete, delete. So I'm trying to keep myself with time. And so when I had a book called Transcend Time, it was the subjects that were going to be talked about regardless. So it's like you can know when you can just feel the shift in the energy. You're like,
Hmm.
people are talking about this. Okay,
Mm.
so I'll write about this and I'll go from here. And then when people, by the time they read my book, and I've written that 5, 10 years ago, it's kind of conversations they had with themselves. It's like, oh yeah, well, usually my frequencies are like, I put it like this, like sometimes I can be a conduit for somebody else's talking points, and I can put that down poetically. I get what you mean, and because I don't have to always believe in it, but I can understand it. And I'm like, I kind of know what you mean. Do you mean it like this? And that's just what it is, because that's just what my gift is. It's just not a gift that I solely dived into. It just whispers to me. I don't go, oh yeah, I'm definitely a writer. Yeah, I want to be that poet. And no, it was just my therapy. It was my peace and joy. I just enjoyed it. I just genuinely enjoyed it. I didn't have no pressure on myself. It was just fun to mess with words. I listened to US hip hop. Like what I'm saying, I say to people a lot. Rupert Murdoch was my uncle. That people thought I was American before I thought they were British. I was British. People were like, "Oh, you sound American." I'm like, "Oh, it must be that Sky TV that I'm." So I used to watch Sky TV at 6 years old. So and a lot of people didn't have Sky TV. They had British TV. So I didn't watch that. I just thought the American TV was a normal TV. So I was like, oh, that's just normal TV. Like, so, and my expressions came from Bart Simpson and, things of that nature. And, Roger Rabbit, obviously the films, obviously, but anyone that saw films, that was American influence. So we were all American influence from a young age, and whether it's media through films, Sky TV or whatever, or the music, naturally, the music, obviously, mainly the music. That's where it really is that, you know what I'm saying? So, so most of my personality was shifted from the US parts of life, and then slowly understand I understood US culture more than my own UK culture, and I catched up with UK culture. I was like, when I was 18, I was like, oh my god, oh yeah, this music I knew that. Da, da, da. That's why I started adapting with different beats. I started getting my UK twang out. So I was like, yeah, I'll get my but obviously like most of my times, yeah, it's just you take from different cultures, apply it to your character, and just and enjoy yourself with it. You know what I'm saying? But if it brings you joy, and hip hop brought me joy, so yeah, man. So that definitely was a massive healer of my life. So yeah, man. Shout out to the US, especially the New York brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's where I got my kind of element from the Wu Tang, as I said before, to the Onyxes, and and who else? Like obviously, naturally, Nas, DMX from the Yonkers, like the Locks. I just all of them, man. There was so much, yeah, energy that was just and Mob Deep, like can't, yeah, that shout Prodigy. That's what I mean, like that just had elements that just like, and they looked like they were happy on TV. So I'm trying to project that. I want to be happy like that, but it was showing joy, and whether behind the scenes they're going through pain in that. But it was showing that, yeah, you can enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, man, that share that. And behind the scenes, they're probably sharing that love. They're daily sharing that love. Not probably. They are sharing that love. So it's not even a probably thing. So, in that kind of respects, that. So, yeah, man. And so, yeah, just pay homage to little things that you learn, and grow with it, and let it, elevate your character. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and have no prejudice. There's no need for that anymore. That's boring. That's out the window. The new paradigm don't require prejudice. It requires focus and like intent to connect, with actual, optimism, like actual optimism. You know what I'm saying? Not skepticism and cynicism and all of those isms, all them, yeah, yeah, all
It's
those
the
isms,
isms.
isms
The,
that, yeah, it just
the ism.
confuses everything with it, man. So, yeah, that's my take on that. You feel?
It's funny. You actually took me back to my childhood days as well. So I was born in the 90s, and I think even to this day, sometimes I watch Digimon clips sometimes just to resonate with. So that I'll be honest, like
That's
I
real.
think you know what I think with today's society, what we lack in is when's the last time we actually remember what it's like to be a kid, like in touch with a child.
I
Like
agree.
that's the thing. Well, like why the Western culture is lacking because we've got what it's like to be playful, have that curiosity. I
Mm.
mean, I'll be honest with you. To this day, I watch Digimon clips, I watch Beyblade clips, and I would just like, I'm like, bro, like you love it, but it's true. Watching those
No, I'm
cartoon
liking
shows,
it. I'm going on.
no, watching those cartoon shows they'll give me life lessons, but I was too young to understand. But now I'm watching something, go, oh, these will
Mm,
teach you about friendship, courage,
mm,
teamwork.
mm,
You know what I
mm.
mean?
See.
Like
I didn't
it's
watch
teaching me
Digimon.
about.
I had my own ones, but not Digimon. But I had my own little cartoons. So I had
I mean,
Rugrats and that. I'm
yeah,
Rugrats and
listen, Rugrats.
them ones more so. That's my favorite one. Doug.
Yeah,
That's
Doug,
them
Doug.
boy.
You guys shout out
Yeah,
to Doug.
yeah, yeah. Them
But
boy
but
there,
but,
like,
but
yeah.
man, a lot of people understand 90s and 80s cartoons were teaching us life lessons, but they had to put it away, yeah, like we were too young. But now watching it the older, we go, wow, there's actually meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Like I'll give you for example. There's like a classic Tom and Jerry episode. There's an
Mm-hmm.
episode where Tom finds a female cat. He's in love with her. He's getting a ring. He's doing this. He's doing that. Next thing you see him, he's in a train track like this, yeah. His head down, ready to give up life and anything.
Yeah,
And,
that seems like
and
today's kind of energy. That's predictive programming 101, man. Yes, that could be happening. Even Tom is, you could be the most sweetest tomcat, and just but she's just not interested, and she doesn't want chivalry. She wants whatever. I don't know, but again, we can't. Again, people's, they have to learn through those things. I feel people's choices will lead them to learning. I do feel that, like whether they want it or not, they can learn or repeat and have the same cycle. It's a choice. You don't have to, you don't have to, beat yourself up. You just have to, big yourself up sometimes, and just know that I made mistakes. I am human, but guess
then
what? I'm still here to fix. I'm still here to help, fix myself and help others. And that's what's up. Like, that's what I mean. And no matter how funny, in my most downtrodden times, It's when people give me the light when they're like, "Yeah, hey stranger," and or "Hey you," and then I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm just like confused. I'm like, "What the like, yo, like, thank you, like." And that's what I say. I'm just you don't even know when you're gonna get that back. You have to get it back in any form of fashion apart from just the simplest. Your negative thoughts can be there. Like I definitely get negative thoughts sometimes. And like, well, I think I'm overdoing and getting like underappreciated. Like, allow it, man. What is this? Like, I don't get it. And then I'm questioning things. But then, someone will remind you this is why you're doing it, and you're very cool. And thank you for this. As I said, people will be thank you for conversating with me, or thank you for this. You're very interesting. You're like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, and you're waking up and going, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you look in the sky. Yeah, and just everything's just like yeah, and just everything changes. The vibration of your day changes. The skate style changes. Your the way you talk to people changes. Your conversations later on, like your tones, your tonality changes because you're in a good mood. The dopamine's already high, and it's a natural given dopamine. It's not a forced one. It's not temporary. You're not like yeah, I'm just going to hype it up on the camera, and when I get off the camera, I'm like oh man, this is
I
long.
mean, to be fair, most of the time, yeah, when we were like talking, our eyes still like we're wide awake, but it's like I still like I'm ready to sleep, but it's like no, we gotta stay focused, like you know what I mean.
No,
But
I'm
I
being
mean,
ready to sleep. Your ears are open, bro. That you're an open-eared person. Let's keep it a buck, guys. So yeah,
yeah,
you can be tired. It's okay. But we know that we listen. We got ears. We're the Leos. Like the lions have got the ears. Like the cats on the ground. We can hear it. Like, we hear from a man. I can hear that. What was that? Like in between your lines. I heard in between your lines. I heard
right.
that. I heard
Do you know?
that.
I think the most beautiful thing what I've learned here is nowadays we're searching relatability, like can relate to this person, like because everyone's like looking for answers here, but I think most people should look for something like does this relate to me? Does this actually fill my need? Because nowadays we're searching for answers. So sometimes the best thing here is just be like I said back to contentment. Play the fool. Just play the fool. Just be dumb. You know what I mean? Then you find your answers within yourself. So it's like,
Well,
well,
when you say it like that, you got to add wisdom to it, not just play the
no,
fool.
no, no, but
When you
I
play
like
the
let me let me
fool,
fool.
you have to gain wisdom
Okay.
within being the
Yeah,
fool, because what that
yeah.
basically means is infinite knowledge. When you're a fool to life, you're still learning, but you're not a fool. You're not acting dumb either. You're just fooling.
Mhm.
You're humbling yourself and
Yeah.
fooling just below that point of I can still learn more. If I'm going to
Mhm.
elaborate on your point,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
but I
mean,
get what you
you clocked
mean.
what you, yeah, you clocked what I mean, man. But it's like not like being like an idiot. It's different between like when people look for answers like without doing the work. It's like they want the straight answers, like 1 + 1 = 2. But it's like no, you got do the work. I can't just give you the answer without you actually doing the work yourself. I can give you the answers, yeah, when you start making. Then you got like dead ends. Then I'll give you the help. But like most people are like, oh, I know. For example, it's like, oh, I want to make £1 million. Okay, you want to make £1 million, and you are like, find an idea, find a need, do the work. It's not gonna
Yeah,
come to you
yeah,
like just like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's
You're
not gonna
right.
come to your lab. And I
Yeah,
think what
fair.
is a lot of time we're finding shortcuts, and the shortcuts ain't going to be the shortcuts are end up being the longer route,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
as well because sometimes the longer route end up being the shortcut. Because right now, a
Yeah,
lot of
fair.
times we're cheating ourselves. We're
Yeah,
cheating
that's right.
ourselves,
That's
yeah,
right.
by not being
That's right.
honest. And I think right now, yeah, while I'm looking at society, we need more authenticity. Like we need more organicness. Like,
Mm.
I mean, this conversation you and I have here, like, we're not perfect human beings. We're not an expert. We're just having a conversation, and yet a lot of people can relate to us because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Half the time, I have no idea what I'm doing, man. I'm not saying I'm wingo all the time, but it's like, I mean, I know where I'm
Are you
going.
so honest? Well, you get subjects, you get answers by doing what you're doing. There's no that
Yeah.
much. But yeah, man. No, well, this is an interesting conversation. I'm gonna have to get some dinner now. It's what 9 o'clock in London time. I don't even like eating late. It's the word. Don't eat late. That's what I say. And that's why I'm pretty skinny this week. But
No, of
yeah, nah,
course.
nah. But no, that's it. And in that conversation, we will have another one. And yeah, we're building another one. This is a freestyle subject. It led from one thing to another, but
No, no.
you know, appreciate everyone for being here and sticking
Mhm.
around and hearing our sound and our heart. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, more
No, of
to
course.
come, and more messages and unlockables. Like we're all connected, we're all one in that way. We all know we can triangulate things. You know what I'm saying? We all inspire each other. That's for sure.
No, definitely sure. And like I said, the conversation you and I have is always organic, it's always original. And like I said, we literally bounce off each other. Like that's what I said.
And
We
yeah,
always, we
and so
always,
we shall.
yeah, and we always continue to bounce off each other. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
when you said about the skateboard thing, I was thinking, oh, you know, throw me back to my younger days. I used to have like, you know, the ones like you had to finger skateboards.
I hate them. Don't talk about them. Flipping hard, man. Don't talk about
Really? You actually find the finger skateboards harder than the actual real
them. I
one?
can do silly things with them, but only to impress children. But it's so gimmicky. It's like, but there's people that are good with them. So no hate, no hate, no
I,
hate to the
I
ones
think
that are good with
I
them.
think I think years ago, I think my younger brother had a skateboard. I remember there was a skateboard in my house. I think it was my younger brother's one, surprisingly. As well.
There you go. It's a sign for you, man. Well, I might see you in the skates then, yeah.
Who knows, maybe one day I might try it out, man. Definitely, you can teach me some lessons on skateboard.
We'll all roller skate. We can roller blade. I do roller blades, skateboard, or football. We can kick a ball around, do some one-to-one teamwork, and then when we get on a team, we show them how the teamwork works.
You know what? I think sometimes, yeah, we usually play, just go back to our playful side, bit of sport, bit of
Yeah, man.
activity
Well, I
as
better
well.
see you in that. I'm gonna hold you to that, you know. I'm gonna
All
tell
right,
the lads
fine then.
next time. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
Now, did Duncan play? Did the Sage play with time and make time to have jokes and play? Let's see, yeah.
all
That's what
right,
it
all
is.
right.
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
100%, man.
All right,
No
man.
worries.
Yeah. Well, if
What's my team,
anything,
people?
I'll see you lot. And love to the family Substack, and I'll see you lot in the continuous poetry and inspiration that you lot do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm?
All right,
No, 100%.
that's what's up.
Definitely.
All right,
Take care,
man.
people. Take
Peace,
care.
man.
It's nice.
Okay.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Love.
All right. Love.
Much love.
Oh,
Love.
oh.